welcome to the latest in our series of leadership masterclasses. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Mr. Hamish Taylor.
Leadership, we tend to think about how we lead, and there's a lot of work that's done on, what's your leadership style and how good are you with people and all that sort of stuff. That's fine, but what are you leading? For the sake of what? Where are we trying to go? Because if you haven't decided that, there's no point in thinking about how you lead if you haven't decided where you're trying to go. And what I found in BA, in Eurostar, and in Sainsbury's Bank was the first 6 months were spent actually deciding where I was trying to lead the team to. Forget actually concentrating on the leadership at this stage, because without that goal, you don't know what you're doing.
The most important thing is to get a very, very simple statement of the customer promise. If you can get down to some very, very simple statement of, here's the benefit as a result of what we're doing, here are the 2 or 3 things we need to be good at, 9-10 words maximum, and use that as the basis for the organisation working forward. That's the best way to get focused, because everybody's not then inventing their own agenda or their own way of doing things. You're working to one agenda, and it's a very, very simple, short, sharp statement. Benefit, 2 or 3 reasons to believe that benefit.
You play a bit of football, don't you? I said, yep. He said, well, normally when you go out there, there's 22 players and a referee on the park. He said, welcome to British Airways, the world of reverse football. There are 22 referees for every player. I said, oh, and do you know what? He was right. Everywhere you went, there were people that were steeped in, I've always worked in this industry, I know how it's done, you're not going to come in here with your toilet cleaner stories and tell me how to run my airline. And rightly so. They were proud of their expertise, but you had to overcome that if you were going to create change.
If people think they can achieve the goal that you're setting by doing exactly what they've done before, but just doing it by working a bit harder or a bit faster, that's the comfort zone that they'll go back to. So the important thing is that you set an objective and a goal where people look at it, think it's quite exciting, but realise at the outset they're going to have to change if they're going to get there.
How do you get great insights? You've got to spend time. My brand managers at British Airways, 1 day a week out of the office. Don't care where you are, around an airport, on an aeroplane, in the travel agent, just go out there and see what's going on. Go and observe, and you never know what you're going to spot. Secondly, blank sheet of paper. Open-minded is what I've said there. Right. One of the problems with customer understanding and customer insight is every time you write a questionnaire or a survey, what have you done? You've determined already what you're going to find out, because you've decided what the agenda is in terms of what you're looking for. So what we used to say was, yes, they're important because you spot trends and it's important to do that, but in addition, there's occasions when you have to go in just with a blank sheet of paper and an open mind and see what you can see.
Get people to think outside the current environment. Everything you do at the moment is within a current department or a current industry or a current company. Innovation is about doing something different. So unless we change our frame of reference and look to other environments, we're really not going to do anything radically different.
As we get more senior in our organisations, by definition we get slightly further away from the customer. It's going to happen. We're getting more senior, we're getting involved in other things, we're a bit further away from the customer than we might have been, okay? At the same time, what's happening to our decision-making power? We're getting more and more important, we're making bigger and bigger decisions. So at the time in our career when we're making the biggest decisions we've ever made, we're probably furthest away from the customer than we've ever been. That's dangerous. Therefore, it's really important that when we think about customer insight, we don't just think about it as a leader, we think about how our teams are doing it and how they're feeding that information through to us. Because it's really, really important that they are sharing it with the leaders. Because if we're making the decisions, we've got to make sure that these guys are acting as our eyes and ears and actually feeding the stuff through to us.
I'm a big believer in keep it simple. I'm a very big believer in having a very simple goal that we want to follow. It's about enthusiasm. I'm much more of a carrot man than a stick man. I mean, for me, it really is about, this looks quite exciting, it wouldn't be fun to go after it. The idea is to build confidence in people that they can get there. You don't build confidence in a team by telling them every time they're getting it wrong. You build confidence by catching them doing it right and then helping them to do it right again next time.
Thank you very much indeed for your attention. Hopefully there's been 1 or 2 things in there that might just strike a chord with some of you. Thanks a lot.